We are here. We are here. And so we are just allowing the vehicle expressing this to fall into a deeper level of relaxation. As we did express that we are wanting to explore another lifetime that is applicable to what is being shared in these conversations. And while this is an experience he is having, we do recognize it is beneficial for all who are reading or listening to consider this. And so, as he does get, we will say, a bit antsy at not knowing, not having any idea or impression about what will be coming up. This is why we have initiated the deeper state of relaxation, and also why we have initiated some humor. And so he is recognizing now being a dog. And he is a dog with a older man. The man is angry. And yet, for some reason, in seeing the dog, he did feel called to rescue it and bring it home. And of course, it was us that was guiding this. It was not just by happenstance. And so now we will allow the vehicle to express from his perspective as this animal. I do not have much memory. I'm not really aware of where I came from, parents or family. In fact, right now, all I can really focus on is that I am cold. I am wet. And I have found the driest place I possibly can without being bothered. I did find two more spots before this, but in one I was shooed away, and the other I was kicked and yelled at. And so I have found this spot and I am just shaking and just being. There's nothing to do but wait. And so as I am waiting for the rain to stop, I see a man walk by. He stops for a moment, looking at me, and then takes a few more steps as if he will just go on, but he does stop and look back, and then next thing I know, he is scooping me up and carrying me inside of his jacket. When we do return to his home, he starts a fire, one which I gladly but timidly lay down near. I'm not quite sure I am comfortable with this man or trusting of him, as there is something that feels a bit off about him. And yet, it is so much better than where I was before. And so I lay by the fire and I am fed. I do not remember the last time I have eaten this much. And so as I am eating and he is eating, he keeps glancing over at me. And there is a small smile on his face. And so there is a bonding that does happen. Rather quickly, I feel and recognize a bond with this man. And so I begin following him wherever he goes. He takes me many places and I enjoy it. And yet, on my second day there, we are in the house and without thinking or knowing what to do, I just released myself and went to the bathroom. He became very angry. He began yelling and smacking my body, repeating words over and over that I, in that state, could not comprehend, though now I do recognize it is no, bad. And I do feel bad. And so this goes on for a short while, and then from that point on, he begins to train me I am kept outside until I finish releasing myself fully. And then, as soon as this is done, there is a recognition and a appreciation, and I am brought back inside. Never again do I release in the house, but there are several incidents in the first part of my time there that caused the man to become so angry, so hurtful. And yet, we are bonded, and I do love him. I do not see him as my owner, but as a dear friend. And so I notice that he is beginning to soften. The offness that I felt at first is starting to fade. And so we participate together for quite some time. And then the man gets sick. I stay with him by his side, though he cannot even get out of bed to take care of me. And sometimes I am given part of his meal when he does not finish it, but there are not really any or many that are coming by to support him and care for him. Many are quite resistant to him as he used to be very angry and spiteful and full of rage. In fact, most cannot believe that he took me home and became friends. And yet those who are willing and able to see the change in him did support when they could. And yet when he did move on out of the body, there was nowhere for me to go. So I was, again, out in the street. Sometimes children would throw rocks at me. Other times people would give me a spot of food or a pet. And I would just wander. And so one day I did feel called to wander outside of my usual routes. I found myself moving outside of the town. There was a creek, and near it was a tree. There was a crying and sobbing sound coming from the tree. And so I approached. There was a young boy there. And while I did not recognize exactly what had happened in that lifetime expression, I can see and understand now that some older boys had dunked him in the water, held him down, and then thrown him back up on shore and chased him away. And so he was wet, he was cold, and he was quite distraught. And so I went and laid near him. I placed my head on his lap and just looked up at him. It did not take long before he had shifted his energy from sadness and despair and feeling alone to, you could say, a mild state of happy. As I was nuzzling him and licking his hands, and eventually, as he did start petting me, I licked his face to just cheer him up. And so I saw the boy after this quite a few times, and always would approach him and nuzzle up against him. And so, while my life was quite difficult now, I began finding different individuals that found comfort and peace in my presence. And I began to recognize something for myself. I thought that by helping the boy, I was sharing, putting forward the love that was given to me. By helping others, I felt the same for some time, and then I began to recognize and realize it is not that man's love I am giving away. It is my own. And so I keep building this by running and playing when I'm off on my adventures, by seeking more people to comfort, to uplift. And you would be surprised how many different reactions a dog does get when it is moving around and interacting with people. And so now, when someone would harm me or yell at me or chase me away, I recognize this was not my love that was causing them to do this. It was not me. It was themselves. It was a disconnection from their own love. And this was the case with many people. And yet, for those others, it was amazing interactions to comfort them as they build and grow their own love. And for some with the disconnect as well, I did my best to just love and comfort them, to be a presence that they saw often and who was not afraid of them. And for some, this did begin to plant the seeds or make the connections to their own love source. And it did grow my own love greatly, to give freely of myself without holding back, to love and honor myself by swimming in the creek and catching animals to eat, by rolling over in the mud in front of a small child. And I will say, as a dog, rolling in the mud can be quite the enjoyable activity. And so you could say we both grew in love when those things did happen. And so as I moved forward in my experience, I was recognizing more and more, deeper and deeper, what this was. And so I am stepping back now. And so the vehicle is recognizing the interplays between the expression of that lifetime and what has been spoken about before. And perhaps, possibly, you're questioning, how would a dog have that level of awareness and understanding of what its emotions are and what it was feeling and what it is thinking? And yet, you were hearing the vehicle express not only the dog's awareness, but also the conscious awareness inhabiting the dog. And so, of course, some of these things may have been more impressions and guidance. The dog did absolutely fully feel and recognize these different emotional, energetic exchanges and interplays. It did absolutely recognize the source of its own love and continue connecting in with that and expanding upon it. And so perhaps if you are doubting or questioning, you could have your own experience to recognize more deeply how these things unfold and how your conscious awareness plays itself out through many, many, many lifetime experiences and expressions for many, many, many different reasons and purposes. And so, as always, love yourselves, love your water, drink your water, and also give yourself the gift of time and space and grace to reflect on what you have read or listened to here. Contemplate, consider, think, question, expand. That is all.